Sometimes life goes so fast you just need to step back and take a time out. If you're really lucky, you can spend that time picking the brain of Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella. We could only find one guy brave enough to do it. Here's Bob McElligott and Timeout with Torts.
Torts, how tough is it to manage a team at this time of year, especially a team like the one that you have right now that has a mix of American Hockey League players, National Hockey League players? I mean, it's not the team that you had in coming out of training camp. It's not even close to that. How difficult do all of those things make it with just really a handful of games left here?
Yeah, well, we're used to it. It's been months. We're as far as the coaches are concerned, we've done more tape work at this time of year than we've done prior because of just so many bodies, different bodies here, and just we're continuing to teach. Usually at this time of year, there's not a lot of teaching going on as far as our concept, but we've had to do that because of just the situation that we've been in. So my biggest thing to manage the team now is I know I've overloaded a lot of players with a lot of minutes. I think I can see it's wearing on some guys. I've got to try to figure out some way to give the team rest when we can to try to rejuvenate our energy. I think that's one of our biggest weaknesses right now, Bobby, with our team is our energy level, and we've got to somehow try to be more consistent with that.
How does Ryan Murray and Alexander Wenberg coming back into the lineup help that? Because those are two guys that have been sitting out and haven't been playing as much as some of those other guys you've been burning up a little bit.
Yeah, fresh legs, National Hockey Leaguers. They're legitimate National Hockey League players and understand how we play. I've moved Winnie to wing. I'm trying to get at least two lines. I think I've spread out a number of players. And I don't think I can balance my lines right now because we need to generate some offense, and I need to get some more established offensive players playing together. So that moves Wendy to the left wing, which is a luxury that I have with him. He can play all three positions. Murr is a puck mover. We have struggled getting the puck out of our end at certain times. He's going to help us there. Helps us on a power play right now. I'm not sure which is what you can call the number one power play because I think Murr and Savvy have done a really good job in the short time they've been together running it to give us some help there. So two really good players that'll help settle us down.
And when it comes to the defense, you tinkered with this for a period, I think it lasted in Minnesota, where you had Savard playing with Werenski. Mm-hmm. Then you went back to the other lineup that you had. With Murray coming back, you put Savard back with Zach. I know you love the Gavrikov-Savard pairing, and they're good defensive shutdown, all that stuff. But did you like what you saw in the Vancouver game when you made that switch back?
Yeah. And like Nudi's going to be out. I don't think Nudi's played well. He's going to be out, so Harry will come back in. Yeah, when we switched him, I liked him. You may see – it depends on the team we're playing against. It depends on what the lines look like that we're playing against. I still think they're all interchangeable. We do like 44 and 58 together. But at times during the game and depending on the momentum of the games, you may see some different looks. But, that's where we're at. Listen, we don't talk a lot about the injuries, but our main cog is out, number 3, and it shows. So we have to – you kind of have to do it on the fly and see where everybody is at that particular time in the game and make our call.
Since you brought him up, I've got to ask you this because I've said this numerous times. I've gotten so spoiled watching that guy play, and I know he's good, but I didn't realize how many little plays that he makes that once they're not being made, it really stands out. And I know you guys watch the video and all that stuff, but, I mean, do you have even more of an appreciation for Seth Jones and his game now that he is out?
Oh, sure. I think that's when you start appreciating players like that more was when you don't have them. And you know what? He makes so many great puck plays, but the amount of space he takes up defensively is just incredible. And we certainly feel that. And any team, and you lose your top defenseman, any team's going to feel that. But we battle along here and try to do it as a team defense. It's something that our team defense and where we're giving up shots has wavered a little bit here, and where we've lost the middle of the ice. I think the two I'll give you 3 points that I think are very important for our team. Is first of all, we have to play with energy. That's the definition of this team, and that's been a little inconsistent here of late. Second point is we cannot give up odd man rushes. We have to be above the puck. I think it helps our transition game. It helps us from not playing always a 200-foot game offensively. And the third one is as far as puck support, as far as our breakouts are concerned, because we're not coming out as clean as we usually do, because we just don't have – it's changed a little bit as far as some of the people that we're missing. And so it is along the boards more, and so you have to have people stopping more and being under the puck and support the play. And this is how it works, and this is how we have to play the game.
And does some of that defensive structure disappear because you get impatient? You always say we have to stay within ourselves. We know how we have to play, all that stuff. But like when you go through a long losing streak like you were on, even though you picked up some points along the way, do guys kind of get like, all right, I know I should be here, but maybe if I do this, we can do something better offensively?
Well, there's so much talk about the lack of offense with the team, and there's a scrutiny on the team as far as lack of offense. Although I'm not sure the last 5 or 6 games, we've scored some goals, and but you know. And I know people don't like to hear it, and sometimes, and I've told the players I know they don't like to hear it, but we have to think defense first. We have to, and it doesn't take away from the offensive play. It just seems like you use that word defense is, oh, he's telling them to throw it around the board and just throw it in, which is ignorant. And no, but we have to have a belief on how we have to play. And for the most part during these months, because this has gone on for months, we have. You start getting a little fatigued. Played a lot of games. You start getting a little fatigued. You're just not as sharp, and you start cheating a little bit. I don't mind the anticipating, but when you start cheating, that's too far over the line. We can't do it. We can't. And that's where I think we've lost a little bit of our structure. And quite honestly, it just starts with the mindset. And I do think we recoup. I'm hoping how we come back against Vancouver and win that game. A power play comes up big for us. There's some excitement in the room after the game. I hope that helps us. We got a tough schedule coming up here, and we're going to have to be true to ourselves and true to your teammate in believing in one another.
You talk about mindset, and I know you talk about this all the time, the mental part of coaching. In that Vancouver game, we came out of that the media timeout, and I remember saying on the air, there was 7-something on the clock, and I said, they've got to find a way, something they've done for all these months, and it doesn't look like they're able to do it in this game. But how does it go from that to all of a sudden, bam, all the energy in the world, and a come-from-behind win?
Yeah, I go back, and I go back when I talked to Derek Stepan. I think I told you this, out in a center out in Arizona. I coached in New York, very good friends with him. And I was talking to him. I was lamenting to him out in Arizona when we played them. I said, we're just not playing with enough juice and energy. And he says, Torts, and this is when we weren't scoring goals. He says, Torts, no team has energy unless they're scoring goals. Everybody gets excited when they score goals. He says, you may like those block shots and all those defensive plays that you get excited about. Players will do it because they know they have to. They love scoring goals, and that's what brings you energy. And yeah, so it is. It's a huge point, and that's what happens. Z makes a great play coming across the blue line, makes a great pass to Murr. Murr makes a great saucer play to Nasher, and Nasher puts it short side shelf. And everything changed on our bench. And we draw a couple of penalties. We talked about in between periods. We didn't have any penalties. We didn't have any power plays, and I forget what they had. And they had the puck on the string on their power play. We knew we were going to get one call somewhere along in that third period, and it comes towards the end, and we get 2 called, and the power play comes through for us, which really hasn't done a lot of that for us this year. But it's scoring that second goal gives the team energy, and then we score a power play goal, and like I showed the tape clips to the players today. Our effort, how quick we're skating. I mean, it's like it's a playoff game that lasts 3 minutes, and it's amazing. And you can beat them over the head, about energy. Something good has to happen for these guys for them to feel good about themselves.
Well, I'm glad one of your former players could finally teach you something.
Yeah, Step and I have had many conversations about a lot of things, and that was an interesting one for me.
Emil Bemstrom gets that the game winner, and he had the overtime winner against Ottawa. This guy, you've stuck with this guy all year. There were some times that you could have said that he was scratched, and I don't think anybody would have blinked an eye. But you've stuck with this kid. He is getting some goals now. I know his overall game is far from being finished.
Yeah, he's aggravating to me. Yeah.
But how far has he come?
Yeah, he has, and it's his first time in this league, and the best league in hockey, and he needs to learn. Like I showed it today in the video. He draws a penalty, huge penalty at the end of the game that we score a goal on in Vancouver because he worked hard. He was tenacious. He came across. He closed off the neutral zone. He won a battle on the boards, and he took off at the puck. He gets tripped. Hasn't happened that way a lot with him this year. He has to understand the urgency you have to play away from the puck, and he has a strong core to him. He can get where he needs to be in that part of it, and I think you'll find he'll have the puck more. That's the part that's aggravating him. But as far as him scoring goals, the puck is following him around a little bit here, and those offensive players, when that starts coming around, and it doesn't take him many chances to score goals. That's his biggest strength. It's been a big plus for us. That power play goal, I hope it gives him even some more confidence. But the clip I showed him prior to the power play goal today was his effort in trying to get the puck back. And then when he got the puck, he beat a guy and he got tripped. That was more important to me than his goal. Well, maybe not, but for me teaching him. So yeah, that's what you do. That's what you work with a young player. You got to keep on teaching.
Is he maybe a young Oliver Bjorkstrand, who is a guy that now has learned how to win battles?
He's being treated like Oliver Bjorkstrand by me, I'll tell you right now, because Bjorky was always the one that was knocked down to the fourth line. Bjorky was always the one that lost ice time because I didn't like what he was doing away from the puck. Yeah, you go back to Borky's couple of years prior to this, and he was 9, 10, 11-minute guy, sometimes stuck on the fourth line, sometimes didn't play, and he needed to learn that also. And he's put the time into it. He's put the time into his stuff off season as far as his strength. And now look what he is. He was our best player. He was our best player when he got hurt, and was our best player for quite a while, in both sides of the puck. So it takes time, but that's Bemmer's in the beginning stage of that, and very aggravating to me. But I also see the light at the end of the tunnel, what I think he can be.
Last thing I have for you today. I've been thinking about this and watching games and listening to you talk. Has finish your check been replaced in the game by stick on puck?
Yeah, damn right. And that's where our game's gone to. We showed a couple we were watching the video today, all the coaches and I, and there are a couple of times where opposing player comes across the ice with the puck, head down, and we have a player that could have put lights out, could have put him into next week. Stick on puck. There's just the hitting is gone. The plays, it was the exact same play I remember watching years ago when Scott Stevens laid out Paul Kariya. Exact same play. Doesn't happen in this game anymore. So as coaches, we have to make that adjustment. Many times in the locker room this year, I've asked us to be more physical, and I think that's a big part of our play. But I don't think we are enough to right now. But you just beat them over the head. You beat them over the head. The game has changed. And so the checking part of it is getting turnovers with stick on puck. We're going to have probably a 15, 20-minute video session tomorrow at 11:30 in our meeting just with that, with Shazi, who's tremendous at teaching that as far as stick on puck. That's the way the game's played right now. And so we got to work with it.
And if you lay a guy out, I think there's a fear that you're going to get suspended and fined, too.
Well, shit, anybody that gets hit here, you're up to get a penalty. If there's a loud noise in the building, the referee's arm goes up. It's just the culture of the game. I mean, I saw a player get hit in the balls, go down, and they blow the whistle. Usually, no play is stopped unless if you get hit in the head, which they should, in the face and stuff like that. You get hit in your body, you get hit in your arm, and you go down. The play was never stopped. Now the plays automatically stop. It's like we're playing checkers out there. It's a non-contact. And it's frustrating to me because I think we've lost the essence of the game, of what's so great about this game. But this is where the game is.
I do remember one time a guy got hit in the eye and they let the play continue,
Yeah,
but I won't bring that up to you.
Number 8 with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and it hurt us. Yeah, what happens?
Yeah, I think it was a playoff goal scored after that. Torts, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, man.